have you start with your opening thoughts, and then we'll take some questions from you, Karson.
Yeah, I mean, every time we play them, it's a match like that. I feel like it's just it's two good defenses. It's two really physical blocks. It's two good serving teams. It's not a match if you like offense. Generally, it's a random one if it is a lot of offense. We gave so many points away, especially that first set. I just think we tried too hard, and you're trying to avoid the block or just create things, and just made for a lot of unforced errors for us. And I'm proud of the way we climbed back. I'm proud that we got into our game plan. Again, we had lots of chances to win two, or we won two, had a chance in three, had a chance in four. Just same thing. Just consistency on offense just wasn't there. But they're a really good team. So are we, and we will come back.
Obviously, long run to open the match, and then pretty long run to close the match too. What's it like to watch situations like that? I mean, how much you thinking, hey, do I call timeout? What can I do to kind of stay in some momentum there? And just how critical were those two runs to bookend the match?
Yeah, I was out of all the things I could do. You try. Honestly, like we were not very mentally tough, right? And that's something I feel like, we have been, and I shouldn't say that as a group, not as a group. But some individuals, we got to be, mentally stronger. And again, you want to go bring your game. You don't want to change your game too much. Again, they're going to make stops, but that can't bother you that they're good. Again, I always want to go get people at their best. And if you win, then you're legit. And so for us, what this taught us is hopefully a lot, right? There's a lot of things that we're going to have to get better at if we want to achieve our goals that we want to achieve. And so I appreciate, Washington State being healthy, being present, being good, playing a good game, and really showed us, kind of where we're at. And again, what they showed us is we're good at a lot of things, and there's some things we have to work on.
Coach, a lot of mistakes today, especially in that first set. What do you think kind of contributed to that today?
Again, I think we really wanted it, and so we got a little out of control. And again, I just thought we missed, and then all of a sudden, the crowd's great, and then you start missing. And now we start panicking, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. So, again, credit to the group for getting it back together. Again, I thought Karson and Kara in the middle were, stabilized us beautifully. Really proud of where that's coming from. I thought Hannah played a fantastic match. She was phenomenal. Georgia, et cetera. A lot of good things. I thought Georgia and Gabby just carried the load in serve receive. Again, against a good serving team, so proud of them for that. It's nice to know that we can do that if we need to. But we just, I think we just didn't calm down. It took us a while to calm down and kind of get into our game plan.
I know Wazoo's obviously incredibly good. There's a reason why they're ranked number 7. But when you had 37 errors, do you feel like you guys kind of let this one slip away? Do you think Wazoo was just the overall better team today?
I don't think we let it slip away. I think what they do is they can make you think you have to be perfect because their block is so physical and they serve tough. And so, again, we have to learn that you don't. Right, like you still have to challenge their block. You still have to challenge their defense. You have to make them make plays. And we're really tentative and cautious with that, or then trying to be just so pristine with a shot. And there's no room for error that way. And so then we made a lot of errors. So again, it's more of a mental thing. They are very good, and so they force that upon you. Generally, what we do to other people. Again, we held them to 162, and that team normally hits over 3, whatever. So again, we did it to each other. We just didn't do just enough more than them. Again, having said that, all the errors, we lose deuce, and we're up. So, so that's great news for us. Again, things we can build on. But a lot of that was, to me, it's just more mentality, again, going up against good competition.
How would you describe kind of the energy, the intensity, just the environment as well? It seemed like a pretty big time environment, and, the two teams definitely seem to be going at each other. Mm-hmm. How would you describe just all of that and how that played into the match?
Yeah, I definitely think obviously the crowd was great. Coming off our win against UW on Friday, we kind of have a little bit of momentum, but I think at the end of the day, it's always that was on our side. So you could have one person here, you could have 10,000. I think it's important for us to know that it's about the 6 to 9, 10 people that we have on the court, and everyone a big team effort and focusing on what we need to do. So at the end of the day, Wazoo played a good game, and we knew it was going to be a battle, but it's about how we show up and when, if we choose to. So I wouldn't expect to win a lot of games if we decide to not show up. So
Karson, I know last week you guys focused a lot kind of on your connection and on your both on the offensive and defensive side. Just how do you think that kind of showed in the game tonight against another top 10 team?
Yeah, definitely. I think once again, focusing on what we need to do. We spent a lot of time upstairs and at practice, focusing on our connection, communication with blocking, talking to Hannah, talking to our setters, and I think it's shown. So between like all the middle group, I think we've been putting in a lot of work and trying to do our part and helping our team succeed. And I'm very proud and very confident of the direction that we're headed. So yeah.
Coach, I know you talked about just the connection with both Mimi and Gabby kind of on the pins. I know a lot of errors tonight, but did you see that kind of improve in practice? How was it against Washington? Is this something you're going to have to look back on again this week? How would you rate it?
Yeah, I thought practice, I thought it was getting better. Again, today, especially with Mimi, I thought the connection wasn't good. I thought she was in early, and so she's under the ball's behind her. And again, she didn't have a lot of clean looks, I thought, that way. She just needs to be calmer at the start, let the ball get ahead of her so then she can go be Mimi. So I think, she, again, like I said, I think she's excited. She wants to go get that ball. And so she's just ahead of it, and then it puts her in a bad spot. So, yep, we need to go back and continue to work on that. Again, I thought Hannah was pretty consistent tonight. So, Mimi's got to make that change, and I'm very confident that that's a change that she can make.
Seems like the tempo sometimes to the outside was, pretty fast. Was that kind of your guys' goals to kind of get that tempo a little bit faster, or did it just so happen to be just great connection on those ones?
Yeah, I think Gabby for sure likes a faster tempo. Mimi does too. But the thing is, we want to be fast, but we want to have options. And Mimi can generally play above the block, so we want her up above the block also. So again, it's a tough set to make, but Hannah does it beautifully. Again, I thought she was there, so I'm happy that we get a practice.
Karson, you put the ball on the floor really emphatically a couple times, particularly that last point in the second. Maybe if you could just reflect on kind of that point kind of in the middle of the match, kind of the connection you felt and just stepping up for your team and trying to provide some offense there.
Yeah, definitely. We talked about it in the huddle a few times, like if things aren't going your way, like you better be aggressive doing it. So at that point, I trusted my connection with Hannah, trusted my footwork, and I knew it was open. So it felt good, looked good, and it was repeatable, and I think that's really important for us. And I definitely think between like Kara and I too, we were just really focused on just staying aggressive.
Karson, you've obviously faced this Washington State team multiple times in your career. With this being the last year that obviously everyone's members of the Pac-12 and Washington State kind of and Oregon State left on their own, do you feel like there's more ferocity from this team? Do you feel like that it felt like they played harder maybe in years past? I'm just curious.
They played harder. I don't know. I feel like they're always a pretty good like competitor when you play them. So I can't argue that it was more or less because of a conference realignment or whatever, but we'll see them again, and I'm excited to play them again.
When you talk about being just mentally tough, I want to hear from both Coach and Karson. Just kind of, what are some things, Coach, that you maybe feel like are drills that you can practice on being mentally tougher?
To me?
Yeah. How do you train that?
Yeah. Well, again, I think generally that's a very big strength for us. And again, in so many areas tonight, I thought we were beautiful. I thought we served great. Generally, that's a big sign. Played great defense, blocked really well, passed great. I mean, a lot of things. Again, we just didn't take great swings. And that's, again, something where I think our connection just wasn't great on the left, and we just need to work. Again, the Morgan Lewis that you saw at the end of the match was the same person as the beginning of the match, so you could see that growth over the course of it, where she was unstoppable at the end, and things like that. Like, it's a bigger role for her right now. It's a bigger role, even more so maybe than for Mimi last year. Because we're trying to give her more things. So it's just embracing that and stepping up in those moments. And again, we had a lot of people do that, but against the best teams, everybody's got to bring it.
And Karson, just what was kind of the talk in the huddle kind of after the game? Was it, did you guys feel it almost like you were right there and just, fell short when it mattered most, or what was the conversation like?
I think the conversation is just keep our heads up, and there's a next game to play. There's nothing productive of sulking in it, sitting it for too long. We need to review film, go over, establish our connection stronger, and be better for the next game. That's all there is.
Coach, despite this loss, historically, this first 15 games has been one of the best starts that you've had here in this program. What do you think's led to your guys' success this year for the most part? What makes this team so special for you?
These guys, they're really focused. Again, they have so much drive. They want to be great. They want to be great for here. They want to be great for their future. They have big goals, big aspirations. So, I don't ever have to pump them up to go to practice or to get reps or to watch film, or you can hear it from her, like she's excited to go back and get after it again. So it's a coach's dream, Again, we have our good days, our bad days, but there's a lot of really good days. And it's just the culture that they've all established and that they're fighting for, that has made us successful day in and day out.
Couple more. Matt, you've continued to go on the Kate and the rotation, have a little bit of a smaller look on the court, but just for her, a couple of aces for her, what have you seen from her and how she's continued to have a bigger role?
I love Kate's personality. I feel like she's again, we talk about tough. I think she's pretty tough. Like, she likes those moments. She wants to go back there and she wants to do something with the ball in her hands. And again, that's kind of the big thing is you got to want that ball, right? Like, at the end, like, I thought Daly did a great job at the end. I know the last one hurt, but for the most part, I mean, they were really going after her and she knew it and she was stepping up and making great plays. We just didn't side out enough for her in that. But, you know, again, just with her and with Kate and with anybody else, you got to want that ball. And I think Kate does. Great personality, easy to cheer for, great teammate. You know, she's brought a lot of good energy for us.
Anything else? Do you think the fact that tomorrow's Zach's birthday will help you bounce back emotionally?
No one needs to know that.
Thank you, Coach.
Well, what number is it?
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you.